Hello everybody, welcome to AccuReggie. Boy, do we have a nor'easter to talk about tonight. So this is it right here. You can see this is the current radar. You can see this big plume of moisture originating in the Atlantic. The Atlantic is open for business, sending moisture up into New England. This scattered area of snow and rain showers to our west, that's going to rotate through. That's the upper level low that's going to capture the nor'easter, the surface low forming off of the Atlantic coast, and it's going to rapidly intensify as it gets captured. It's actually going to do a loop-de-loop and really pummel New England. Now, it's a complicated system. I don't know if I can remember a storm this all over the place all the time. There seems to be no consensus. It's a tough forecast, but let's go through it step by step. And I want to talk about three things that are keeping this from being just an epic blizzard. I mean, we would be talking about 1 to 2 feet of snow. It would blizzard for hours and hours. It'd be a heavy, wet snow that would plaster everything, and we would have in our memories just an incredible blizzard. But that's not going to happen, it looks like, and there's three reasons why. One is, well, let me show you this. This is current temperatures. This is their forecasted temperatures at the height of the storm. Notice the freezing line is way up here in Maine and New Hampshire. You know, you don't need to be a meteorologist to know you got to have freezing temperatures to get major snow. Okay, so unless you're in the mountains, it's going to be tough to accumulate, particularly in March when you have a stronger sun and more heat getting to the surface. So we got to overcome warmer temperatures. The second thing is this. Watch as I put the model in motion. So it's going to rain all night. If you're in New York City to Boston, Monday night, Tuesday morning, it's just rain. It's raining tonight into tomorrow morning. Do you see this little like finger? The low is elongated. It's called a double barrel low. You can see here's the main low pressure, but here you can see kind of like reaching into Connecticut. That keeps a warmer atmosphere in place for longer. Otherwise, the cold air would, this low pressure out here way out in the ocean would suck the cold air into it, and all of this rain would be rapidly changing over to snow, and it would turn into an incredible blizzard. But this, it's unbelievable. I mean, the storm is here, but this little, it's almost comical that this little low pressure wants to form right here, and you can see it lasts quite a bit all through, and then eventually it weakens to a point where it consolidates into the main one. This one sort of weakens and shrinks, and then finally we go over to snow. Okay, so that's what we're waiting on, and so depending on how that low pressure weakens and consolidates, that's going to determine how much snow ultimately we get in Boston and the nearby suburbs. So let me back this up. So as we go through the overnight, it is going to change to snow from west to east. Early morning, if you are far out in Massachusetts, an hour to the west of the city, you're going to be changing over in the morning. Okay, if you're in the inner suburbs, you're going to be changing over in the late morning. If you're in Boston, I think sometime around noon. All right, and then eventually you can see everywhere changes over to snow. It's the rate at which it does that will determine how much we get, and then we got to get, with these marginal temperatures, we got to get the snow coming in heavy. It's got to be blinding snow for hours to get it to actually accumulate and overcome the warmer atmosphere. All right, so now once we do change over, it looks like it will snow all throughout the evening. So Tuesday commute is terrible. Snow. It could change over a little bit. It could mix a bit with the low pressure sort of sitting over us. That's never a good sign for all snow. There could be some sleet, maybe even some rain mixing in, just a nasty, slushy, sloppy mess. All right, but the snow looks like it will come. So it looks like we are going to still get a decent amount of snow. Now let's talk about that, the exact amounts. I think if you're in Boston, 3 inches of slushy snow. Now, if the storm, if it changes over, if we get less of that interference from the second low, if it changes over faster, Boston is going to get at least 6 inches. I think 3 to 6 inches across the city is a good call right now. I'll keep you updated. And then if you get to 95, I think that's where you'll see the 6-inch amount. So 3 closer to Boston, 6 more in 95 outer suburbs. And then once you get to 495, a foot. So between 95 and 495, 6 to 12 inches. And then if you're outside of 495, you're 1 to 2 feet. So that's where the storm is. And the whole question is, where does this gradient ultimately set up? It's still going to come. Don't get me wrong. We're going to get a great tomorrow afternoon. You're going to see some great snows. It is going to pummel and pummel and pummel and be just an amazing little punch, if you will. Not what it could have been, but I think it'll be a nice storm after all. All right. So, folks, that's the update for now. I'll keep you updated if there's any major changes. This is a very difficult forecast with that tight gradient. All right, talk to you soon.